Troll news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy and wet good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. I say wet, the majority of us looking at some rain shower activity, some of it pretty heavy, especially over on the west side of the state. But as we move through the remainder of the day today, we're going to get some little showers that could really come down pretty hard as we move into the afternoon hours. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, that being the sun. A little bit later on this afternoon, we should see a sunset, as all this activity is going to be moving out of here rather rapidly. We're looking at 47 degrees at the airport, 48 at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 48. Downtown Bay City is at 47. South Breeze at 9, 29.60, and rising is the barometric pressure. So there's the good news. The bad news is once again, we have a series of low pressure systems, and they're coming at us like cordwood. Last count that I saw, we were looking at 4 pronounced low pressure systems all around the Great Lakes Bay Area, the state of Michigan, looking back into Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, and then to the east of us, looking at some really wet weather all the way into the New England states. We have a high pressure system that's situated over Nova Scotia, and that thing is just not letting anything go to the east. Everything just kind of meanders and drifts, and then eventually moves in a northeasterly direction and moves up into Canada. But this low pressure system that's affecting us right now, or the group, is not really going anywhere. One might break away and go off to the east, northeast, but the other 2 just kind of hang in there. And a third one is just along for the ride. So at this stage of the game, we are looking for something that many of us knew was going to happen. And that is the majority of the work week this week is just going to simply be wet. We're going to have our days. We're going to have our moments in the day where we will see some sun. And this afternoon, early this evening, is going to be one of them. Then tomorrow, we'll see some sun early, but the clouds will be moving in. More shower activity coming in. And then as we move into, Friday, we're looking at showers still. And all the way through this period, our temperatures are going to be below average, where we should be at 52 in the afternoon and 33 at night. The nighttime lows are not going to be below average. It's the afternoon high temperatures that we're struggling with right now. Fortunately for us, that's all we have to worry about. In other parts of the country, they're getting a lot worse, but all because of the same reason. These low pressure systems are just not going away. And they're tracking across the Gulf states, and those folks down there, whether it's Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, just to name really the main track, tornadic activity, severe thunderstorms, damaging winds, lightning, all sorts of stuff continues to plague that part of the country as well. 38 tornadoes yesterday alone in South Carolina and Georgia. Unbelievable amount of damage. Some of these tornadoes weren't babies at all. They were some pretty good sized ones. And they're just going to keep getting that activity too. It's going to take a little bit of time for this weather scenario to finally work its way out. We've been stuck with this pattern for several weeks, and it's really not showing much of a break as of right now. But there is some hope, at least long range, that once we work our way past Easter, get into the final 10 days or so of the month of April, we should begin to see a little bit of a change in the moisture pattern. Temperature-wise, we're going to work ourselves up a little bit. although we'll work it up and then we'll drop right back down. Long range now to take us into that week after Easter. Not so much the day after Easter, but once we work into about Wednesday and Thursday, we're going to be looking at below average temperatures once again for the months. But given the fact that average high temperature for that time of the year is a lot closer to 58, 59 degrees, okay, we can handle below average if it's 52 to 55, but hopefully we won't see any more of this 40-degree stuff once we get into the middle part of April. Incidentally, for those of you that keep track of things, tomorrow is going to be a big surprise, really. A year ago tomorrow, we were at 81 degrees. We tied a record as far as warmth goes. And for many of you who did have crops in already by this time of the year, and for our fruit industry, there was a lot of concern because April really warmed up. And as I said, we tied a record high tomorrow of 81. We had a lot of really warm temperatures to work our way through the month of April a year ago. By contrast, today, back in 1982, we're celebrating 40 years today, was the record-breaking coldest April the 6th for a high temperature. We never got above 28 degrees back in 1982. The average temperature for the day was 23 degrees, and that was also a record for this time of the year. So we've had the extremes. Fortunately, that 28 degrees was 40 years ago. I don't ever want to see that again, and hopefully we won't. Record high on this date is 81. That was set back in 1929. So what are we looking at? 40 degrees for low tonight with partly cloudy skies. Some sun to start the day tomorrow, but it'll be colder. 44 for a high. Scattered showers, nothing like what we're seeing today, but scattered. As we, especially developing later in the day tomorrow afternoon, low pressure system is going to be moving into Quebec. So 44 for a high, 32 for a low. Then on Friday, cloudy skies, scattered showers, 45 for a high, 32 for a low. Then hopefully we get rid of the rain for a couple of days, Saturday and Sunday, but we are going to be running below average on those temperatures. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Cody Harris standing by to take a look at the markets. Before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. If you think Mother Nature's throwing you a curve now, Mr. Farmer, you better be aware she's just getting her start. Might be a very good idea to contact the folks at the Michaels-R Crop Insurance Agency and get your ducks in a row. They are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. So get with them today or shortly and talk about risk management, because eventually you are going to be able to get on the land and you are going to have a crop growing and you will want it protected. The Michaels-R Crop Insurance Agency can take care of you. Their agents can be reached directly on their cells for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office, 989-868-4722. We say good morning to Cody Harrison. Cody, the big question is, well, we've had two pretty good days. Are we working on number 3 here?
Well, I wish I could be a bearer of positive news here, Terry, but it looks like we're actually taking a step back here across the board on all the grains. Looking at everything the way it sits right now, we got cash wheat, that's down 7, $9.93 on the white, $9.43 on the red. New crop wheat's also down 7, 9.98 on the white, 9.48 on the red. Looking over at cash corn, that's down 8 at 6.87. New crop corn is down 4 at 6.47. Looking over at cash soybeans are down 10 at 15.56, and new crop soybeans are down 10 as well at 13.80.
So these guys just can't handle prosperity, can they?
Oh, man, it seems like every bit of good news that comes out for the markets anyways, it seems like it doesn't last very long in today's market, Terry. But a lot of guys are, I guess, right now are looking at, we got the April USDA WASDE report coming out on Friday, which is the World Agricultural Supply and Demand Report. Getting a lot of updated numbers as far as supply and demand goes. We're going to get some updates of Ukraine's exports. In addition to that, we're going to get some updates on some South America projected production in both corn and soybeans. So I think you might be able to see in the report, kind of prepare for that. But I mean, we're still historically high across the board for this time of year on all crops. And it looks like that's kind of what we're in for in the short term anyways, is a lot of the markets just trying to keep in mind that, we have a lot of uncertainty in this market right now, and it's just keeping all the prices inflated.
All right. Cody, you take care. Have a good day, okay?
You as well, Terry. Appreciate it.
You bet. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me right now. The market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. It's spring Ram commercial truck season at Schaefer and Beerline. This area's certified ag dealer. They've been around since 1852. They know trucks and vans, so buy with confidence from a dealer where family and service sells cars. That is Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. And by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of farmers for well over 125 years. You're in the agricultural business, you should be in business with Thumb Bank. 2 locations in Bay City, also Cassidy, Caseville, Pigeon, and Bad Axe. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Okay, Doug, it's a downslide.
Yeah, a little bit. Crude oil, surprisingly, is getting beat up a little bit, down to 99.11. That's $2.85 cheaper. I'd like to see that. Mortgage applications down 40% from a year ago. That's kind of interesting with interest rates floating up. The Fed's been talking all day, as they always do, and it's pretty much been hawkish, raising interest rates, fighting inflation. Yellen's been talking too about sanctions and things like that. And another billionaire over in Russia got snarled up with Germany and the U.S. government, and they seized his website. I think it's called Hydra, and it's on the dark web, sells drugs of all weird natures and horrible things. But so that's interesting. I always like to see a billionaire get burned down. So there's one for the record books, hopefully.
Well, there's if he wouldn't have had those plumbing problems, he wouldn't have got stuck, would he?
Exactly right. Yeah. Oh boy. Here's your numbers. The May corn, 752 1/4, down 7 1/2. December corn, 702 3/4, down 3 3/4. The September 23 corn is 650 3/4, down 1/4 penny. The May soybeans, 1619 1/4, down 11 3/4. November soybeans, 1443 1/2, down 12 1/4. And November of 23 soybeans, 1342 3/4, down 9 1/2. The May wheat is 1038 1/4, down 8. The December wheat is 1026 1/4, down 1. And July of 23 wheat, 922 1/2, down 3 cents. Crude oil, 98.91, down 3.05 a barrel. Heating oil, 338.74, down 8 cents. Gasoline, 307.30, that is down 5.8 cents. And I think I saw 359 in Carroll last night. So interesting to watch.
Yeah. Somebody made a mistake.
Well, no, I always kind of think that because they're hauling so much ethanol out of Carroll, it seems to me like the trucks either come up empty or they come up with gasoline, and they're like, let's just haul gas instead of coming up empty to haul that ethanol out.
Oh,
so
okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Natural gas is 623 1/2. That's up 20 1/2 cents. So that's getting pretty pricey again. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you 125.10 at the border. That's up 25 ticks. The yen 123.71, up 11 ticks. The euro's at 109.07, up 4 ticks. And the dollar's at 99.56. That's up 9 ticks. Gold's at $19.24.60, up $1.70. Silver's at $24.35, down 17.5 cents. And platinum's at $9.50.50. That's down $19.
All right. You have a good one, Doug.
Thanks. Yep, you too.
Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. When we return, Scott Dumas tells us what's new at Nutrien. But first, this. Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444.
Looking for a career where every day is different? Got a knack for working on farm equipment? We're looking to grow our team. Hudson Inc., your local John Deere dealer, is responsible for keeping farmers of America running. Honest, dependable, and self-reliant mechanical technicians is who we are looking for. Hudson provides continuing education, tool allowances, and benefits. If you're interested in becoming a part of the Hudson team, go online and search Hudson Inc. Careers for more information.
Scott Dumas joining me this morning over at Nutrien. Scott, kind of a soggy day, kind of a soggy week, kind of a soggy month. I'm not going to ask you when it's going to get nice because I don't want you getting in trouble, all right? But there's
hopefully soon.
There's a lot of things we can talk about. What's going on at Nutrien right now, Scott?
Hey, right now we're still solidifying our crop plans with our customers and getting ready for the spring yet. So we're still getting in some product, but making a lot of deliveries to our customers as well.
You know, it is kind of nice in a way, at least producers, when they do decide to get on the ground, Mother Nature allows them to. They should be able to have a much better chance of having the product they need.
Yes, for sure. I know there's been a lot of talk all winter in some of the publications as far as supply and availability, but we're sitting pretty well here in mid-Michigan, across the whole state of Michigan, with products, be it crop protection or fertilizer, and especially seed. So if anyone still needs anything, we're here.
As far as the wheat is concerned, what are you seeing right now, Scott?
I was surprised our crop ratings have declined on wheat, especially compared to last year and our 5-year average. But I think wheat still has a lot of potential out there. I mean, there's a lot of wheat that needs to green up yet, but I think a little bit of warm weather and some sunlight would definitely help that along.
Boy, I agree with you there. You take care. Always good to talk, Scott. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again, all right?
Thanks, Terry. You too.
You bet. Scott Dumas with Nutrien Ag. Joe Kramer talks about the dry beans in a moment.
Mr. Farmer, does the cost of fertilizer have your head spinning? Maybe it's time to look for alternatives. Now's the time to see what Dairy Dew can do for you. Dairy Dew? Dairy Dew offers compost blends made with chicken manure, gypsum, and several other natural ingredients that will bring health back into your fields. As a matter of fact, Dairy Dew features a mix of compost blends, granulated fertilizers, and liquids that will help to restore nutrients and good biology to your soils. No matter if you're a conventional farmer or organic farmer, Dairy Dew is for you. Dairy Dew liquids like Kelpful and MCI Corn Starter will benefit your plants. The soil health experts at Morgan Composting have been helping farmers with their soil health for over 25 years. Put that expert know-how to work for you. Don't let today's fertilizer costs get you down. Now you know the best option. Learn more by visiting dairydew.com. Get your orders placed now for spring. Put Dairy Dew to work for you.
Healthy plants come from healthy soil. Healthy soil comes from Dairy Dew.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. Along with me, Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Joe, let's talk a little bit more. Scott Dumas alluded to it. Supply and demand. What's happening?
Well, we continue to ship a lot of beans out of the state of Michigan, and I think it's picked up a little bit for our friends in North Dakota as well, Terry. In the last few days, we've turned our attention a little bit to South America, particularly hearing about dry weather with the Argentina production. as weird as this sounds, we don't really need them to have a bad crop. We've got, pretty decent pricing where we're at. Things are moving pretty good. We need some more export opportunity, which I think we'll get even if they just have an average crop. But if they have a big crop, they can get into our way with exports. So we need to keep our eye on that, and we're actually going to send some people down there in early May just to take a look.
It looks like over in the Ukraine area, some of those countries, food aid is really going to take the headlines here fairly fast, if not already.
You're right, and we've spent a lot of time on that over the last few weeks. There's some stuff moving that direction already. So far, it has not included any beans. We don't know that it will or won't, but if we assume it will, that's a good thing. If it doesn't, then we think beans will fit in some places where food aid was headed, but redirected. So, for example, Yemen is a big white bean consuming area. Food aid is always moving in that direction. If they reroute that to the Ukraine, we get to backfill to Yemen. So I think we're going to see some opportunity there to move some beans in those directions to people that really need them.
Well, so far so good. Let's just hope those markets stay open. We're able to move the product. That'll really help our prices coming down as we get ready to plant, right? For
sure. Send some sunshine.
Oh, I'm working on it. It's the short string, so I got to jump extra tall. Joe, you take care. We'll talk to you again. Joe Kramer over at the Michigan Bean Commission.
How do you make the most of your land? Everyone has their way, and if you ask the Mosers what they use their John Deere Gator TM XUV 590M for, they tell you,
just ripping around the property.
We try to cram a lot of work into each day.
We use the Gator to get around
and check on the crops.
And with a 900-pound payload capacity and a 1,500-pound towing capacity, they have the power to move on to what's next.
We're always switching gears.
But it's not just about strength. It's also about speed that lets them
cross the field faster than my pickup.
So they know they can count on their Gator TM to help them make quick work of long drives between jobs. And with that high-end top speed, 32 horsepower, and an enhanced dash that helps keep your eyes on the road, those drives have never been as fun. And as Eric Moser would say,
can't be all work and no play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere TM. Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Bad Experts Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Rochester Hills, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit tricountyequipment.com.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts. It's all about new parts for old tractors. They've got a passion for that. They really like working with you, and you'll like working with them. 800-234-3280, or go to their website at steinertractor.com. Program brought to you today also by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more, all available. Check them out. Go to frankenmuthcu.org. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kathan. The U.S. hits Russia with new sanctions and gathers war crimes evidence. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen.
We are tracking carefully, using all the tools at our disposal, the assets of oligarchs and other sanctioned individuals.
CBS News White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
These latest sanctions target Vladimir Putin's two adult daughters, the wife and daughter of Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, the country's former president Dmitry Medvedev, and members of Russia's Security Council. The sanctions also target Russia's largest financial institution and its biggest private bank. President Biden will also sign an order banning new investment in Russia.
In Ukraine, CBS's Holly Williams has more on what officials and survivors of the Russian invasion are saying.
You can see maybe 3 dead house. It's maybe one body.
Ukraine's Interior Minister Denis Monastyrsky has this message for Vladimir Putin.
Go to hell.
Irina Abramova says her husband Oleg was the